address the Kyrie thing. It's definitely something worthy of addressing, and I found it to be kind of interesting on so many different levels, political levels, financial levels, and just influencer social levels. You know what I mean? So let's unpack the whole Kyrie thing for a minute, and then we'll get into what you guys think. Kyrie Irving, some would say he's a little bit eccentric, right? Different, thinks outside the box, if you will, right? I kind of like to think that I think outside of the box, but so I kind of dig that about Kyrie. I don't dig everything about Kyrie, but there's certain things, certain qualities and attributes he have that I respect, right? Last couple of years, Kyrie's been getting lambasted, man. Dragged through the mud. One for refusing to take the vaccine during the whole COVID thing, and the media was killing him, led by Drunk Sports Talk's favorite Coon A. Smith. He was leading the charge. I mean, to me, it was like an absolute, almost lynching of Kyrie. Every day, back to back, riding him. Like I said, a lynching by, again, the Grand Wizard of Black Media, Coon A. Smith. Thank you very much. But so Kyrie didn't take the vaccine. Like, some did, some didn't, right? We all have our own choice, right? It's our right to choose what we wanted to do. He chose not to do it. And basically they killed him for it, right? There was a ban. Eric Adams. I'm sorry, let me get my thoughts together. Eric Adams had the vaccine laws where Kyrie wasn't allowed to play, right? So that was a whole shitstorm, right? Eventually the ban got lifted. Kyrie was about to play. The COVID stuff started to go away. But, the damage was done to his reputation, right? So he gets back on the court. Everything's quiet for a while. The following season, right? It feels like they're looking for something to fuck with Kyrie about, right? Mm-hmm. They found something, right? What'd they find? He tweets out a link of a documentary that was on Amazon, right? I think it was called From Hebrews to Negroes or something like that, right?
Hebrews to Negroes. Wake Up Black America. It was,
right.
It was so-called anti-Semitic documentary.
Right. So he tweets that link, which is on Amazon, by the way, and they deem him to be, like you said, anti-Semitic. Mm-hmm. They deem the doc and him to be anti-Semitic. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, he didn't endorse nor denounce the documentary. All he did was tweet a link, right? Mm-hmm. This is facts. This is not my personal opinion. This is facts I'm talking, right? Mm-hmm. They made him jump to all types of hurdles to humiliate him. Nets owner Joe Tsai had him jump to all these hoops to get back. He wound up having to acquiesce and he, kind of break a little bit, but I understand why he did it. He's fucking with his money. Not one time did anyone go after Amazon, which housed the fucking documentary, right? Because allegedly the NBA and Amazon are in bed, and Jeff Bezos on another level. It's above all them niggas' pay grade to go fuck with Jeff Bezos, right? That's a different level of shit, right?
A different tax bracket.
Right. And we all remember the famous Kyrie line, how can I be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from? That was deep. Mm-hmm. That was dope. And if y'all don't know what that line means, I'm not going to get into that. But if you want, go do your homework and you'll cover a plethora of shit, right?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, Kyrie Irving, who, champions freedom, so to speak, right? Pro-human rights, recently signs a deal with a Chinese sneaker company. I think it was called ANTA or ANTA, right? Yeah. Now, ANTA allegedly has ties to the Communist Party in China. That's what they're saying, right? And not only does Kyrie get the shoe deal there, he becomes the company's chief creative officer, right? Mm-hmm. Bear with me for a second. I'm a little long-winded, but I'm going to tie everything together, right? You remember Daryl Morey, GM of the Rockets,
yes,
right?
Sir. He's the GM now of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Absolutely. Got into all types of hot water for denouncing China, right? Mm-hmm. Denouncing them, saying that, they're inhumane and all different things, man. Adam Silver and them kind of break them through the coals a little bit, right? Mm-hmm, yeah. You guys remember Enes Kanter, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It was condemning China for similar for a similar situation, right?
Yeah. Now he goes by Enes Kanter Freedom now.
Enes Kanter Freedom. You know, he basically said the same thing. China is inhumane by human rights and forced labor. Adam Silver is pretty good. I think he urges players freedom of speech, and he encourages players to talk about the injustices in America and throughout the world. But he's also aggressively trying to get into that Chinese market, who has 500 million NBA fans, right? So it's a conflict of interest. While he wants them to speak on the injustices with China, that the 500 million NBA fans in China, translates into dollars.
Oh yeah.
I say that to say this: Nike dropped him, right? Nike. I'm going back to Kyrie. Nike drops Kyrie and his shoe deal, and Kyrie signs the Chinese. The deal with the company that's represented in China, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys take of this, man? Some people say it's a little bit hypocritical of Kyrie. I don't know if I think that, but I want to go to you guys, man. I'm gonna start Q. Let me start off with you. What's your take on that?
Man, I've always, first and foremost, Kyrie Irving, man. This dude, if anything, he is the free thinker of the NBA. Your homie keep it a buck. He make you feel like, because trust me, they're all human in the NBA, but he make everybody else outside of the NBA that, homie's also another human. I know a lot of people who either died from COVID or, caught COVID and all this. Trust me, it went on forever. I know a lot of people who lost their jobs because the companies were making them take the vaccine and they didn't want to do it. So for him to stand up and do that, that's legit. But we can all have our opinion about that. But for any man with his type of talent and skill level to be able to just stand up for whatever he thinks is right, man, that's the type of dude I would love on my team. Granted, I know Stephen A. Smith is talking about he's missing work. Yeah, because you know why? Like, are you supposed to be a fucking slave in the industry? And that's not an innuendo talking about, the anti-Semitic documentary. But like, at the end of the day, if they make you do something like that, you telling me I have to? A lot of people were getting that done to them. For him to stand up, man, fuck it. Like, you ain't gonna kill me. Like, God forbid that he takes the vaccine and he gets a bad one. Now he's no longer here playing ball at all. Right. And I say that just to say this about the shoe deal, because all homie did was just send out a tweet, which is bullshit. They always want to put my man down. But it's a 7-year deal, and he can create the shoe, and he's not the only one in the NBA under them. If I'm not mistaken,
and he has the power to recruit other players too.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Gordon Hayward is there. Klay Thompson is under that same company. So. To bring somebody over like Kyrie Irving, he's gonna bring the young crowd. He's gonna bring the people who dress ill, and you know what? He's probably doing it as a big fuck you to Nike. Like, trust me, we all own Nikes, right? I have like 19 pairs of Nikes. Yeah. I'm not gonna stop buying Nike, but hey, if somebody did me dirty off of just texting out, tweeting out a link, and you're gonna drop my whole sneaker deal, fucking with my money. Man, because the story's getting twisted, you're just gonna put words into my mouth, and who's to say whatever that I didn't see the documentary, but this is how they always make the world think about people. It's so quick how the media could do, and how the media could just judge you, and now you get canceled. This whole world is getting soft as fuck because nobody can take no other people's opinions and on what they think about a specific topic, which is BS. Because we could expand on that type of just controversy topic to a million different other topics about how people take things out of proportion and blow it out their ass just because somebody has an opinion. Man, I can respect your opinion, which is what we want our fans to listen to us. They could call us biased because we only want to talk Knicks, Giants, and Mets, or any of the New York teams, or we have opinions that could be basically biased toward New York fans, and I don't care. But our fans and listeners are gonna respect whatever our thought process is, and whatever we bring into the table, and whatever we're touching on. And a lot of people in this world can't do it, and they're not doing it to Kyrie. So I wish him all the best, and I think it was a great opportunity for homie, and he could build some nice sneakers. I wasn't a fan of some of the sneakers was pretty dope on the Nike, but let's say Yeah, you know what I mean? They got better as they started, progressing, but I think he could come out with some dope shit, hopefully. Let's see.
Hey, what you think?
Well, I think the same thing. I think they try to just overall blackball him out the league. Like they blackballed Chris Jackson, known as Madhu Rauf, and Craig Hodges. They try to, Enos Cantor, just because he like you saying, he's a free thinker, and a lot of in the world we're living in now, everybody's scared of free thinkers. People who don't follow the trends, and I appreciate and admire that he was unapologetic for everything. He's like, he did what he did. They canceled his Kyrie 8s. You know what I mean? They suspended him without pay. They try to just diminish his name, and he's like, yo, I'm more than just a basketball player. He's like, I don't need basketball. You know what I mean? I'm a human. I'm a human being.
I'm an artist.
Yes,
exactly.
Said
that, I'm an artist.
Yeah. So I think him doing this deal, even though with the whole politics with China, going with China and the US, but I think he's gonna bring. I know him as chief creative officer. He's gonna recruit not even basketball players, like brands, influential figures in pop culture, artists, musicians, environmentalists, humanitarians, to collaborate with him. And that's like a whole different arena of just what we are used to, just seeing, just sports figures with sports figures. Now he's bringing it to a global aspect and opening up people's minds, like, bro, you can't tell us what to do all the time. Like, I was one that I was forced for my job to get the vaccine. I was totally against it too. But I don't have the same paycheck as Kyrie Irving, so I couldn't afford it. So I took it.
He stood in his square. Listen, whether you like it, not to cut you, whether you like it or not, right? It should be our choice. If you feel you wanted to go get the vaccine, I don't care. Do what you got to do. That's your thing. Yeah. I didn't get it. I didn't feel I didn't trust it, and that's my choice, right? That's what America is built on, right? Choice, freedom of speech, freedom, right?
Yep.
I mean? So, what do you think?
The generation that completely took it away from us. I feel like we had no freedom of speech, because I'm like, why do I have to be forced to put something inside my body that I'm totally against just to keep my employment? Like, I thought, that's why I was riding with him crazy. I didn't really say a lot to my own personal coworkers, but I was really riding with him heavy because of that. I was like, I admire that.
Me too. And I would get in, it's funny you said that. I would get into little small arguments with people, at work and other places, because you were like, it was like taboo to say you like Kyrie around that time, you know what I mean? Which was the Stephen A. Smith. I know I ride hard on him, but he just to me that did it for me, man. The way he was constantly riding, and he had some stupid issues like he should take the vaccine because his teammates, he's not being a good teammate because they won't win a championship. I mean, that's my life, boy. Like, what are you talking about, man? This is bigger than basketball, man. He's we can go into Stephen A. Smith all day. We ain't gonna do that, man. But
that's that whole that big machine of propaganda of the media. They just force feed us all this shit, get everybody in a whole paranoia state of mind, and then we all have to follow suit. But it's like I said, there's a lot of us who are free thinkers that we have to go against the grain and follow what we believe in. And that's one thing. He was opening a lot of doors for a lot of people to do that too.
Absolutely. What do you
I'm pretty sure that's the reason. I'm pretty sure that's the reason he got such a high level of approval and ownership of his sneaker deal, because of the way he was thinking, the way they saw him move. Like, yo, that's some dude I would let get some say so. I wouldn't. You don't want no yes man. That's like being in a booth all the time. You keep giving people a song and they're like, yo, man, that shit's hot. But I'm like, all right, man, I done had 5 whole albums. You telling me every song on every album is classic? I don't know, bro. I think at this point you either must really like my music or you just afraid to keep it real and tell me what you really think is wrong with it, but and
they didn't disclose that, like, the terms and the financial aspect of the deal. Like, it must be a big bag, and part of me wanted for him to do a deal with them because he could have went anywhere. I think Puma was recruiting him. I want to say, if I could be wrong, I think Adidas maybe. There was a couple other suitors for him, but I think he must have got some type of equity You know, and knowing how smart, intelligent of a businessman Kyrie is, he probably got some equity in the company, a small stake in it, and the creative control and the freedom to create what he wants. So I think it's a win-win for him, you know?
Yeah, I read that it was like a 5-year deal, 5 to 7 year deal. Not and the exact number of what he was going to get per year, it doesn't say. But you know, that opens another lane. Unfortunately, it opens another lane of controversy for him because of the whole political situation between the United States and China. You know what I mean? Like the involvement of a Chinese company in this deal, like, you know, renews questions about how the NBA is involved in criticism in China, you know? And all due respect to like the American audience, China is one of the most, one of the most influential, one of the most important audience right now for the NBA. Like
China denies being inhumane and the slave labor and all that. They deny all that. So this is all allegedly, you know what I mean? But you know, man. So let's take a shot for Kyrie. Fuck that.
Yeah, word.
I love that in All-Star game he wore his sneakers and put the moccasin thing all over it. Like, yo, fuck you, Nike.
Cover the Nike.
I remember. Yeah, that was dope. And when he and when they cut him, when Nike cut him, and he played a game in sketches.
Yes, I love that. I was like, yo, he's too ill for that.
Yo, Kyrie Gangsta.
Kyrie and Kaepernick. This generation's version of Jim Brown and Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I love it.
Salute, Kyrie Irving.
Salute. You know, and just
chasing with a B. I'm like Q. I'm chasing my little
You know, and just to touch up a little bit more before we switch, I just didn't like how, I know we all fuck with LeBron, but I didn't like how LeBron kind of threw him under the bus, like, I don't believe in anti-Semitic and stuff like that.
Yes.
I'm like,
which surprised me. Which I'm glad you brought that up. Go ahead. Yeah.
And that's all politics. Like, politics as usual. You have to be politically correct when you're behind that camera. Maybe LeBron really doesn't feel that way, but since he's up there in stature, he's gonna have to say something like that and say that he doesn't coincide with what Kyrie, is saying. But like you mentioned Jim Brown and stuff like that. I feel like LeBron hasn't done that much. He's done a lot, but he hasn't spoke up. Like,
I think LeBron has spoken up on quite a few things,
but not to
the degree of Kyrie. But what I will push back a little bit, Ed, is that I was just like you. I was very mad when he kind of did that. I was like, it shocked me because LeBron always kind of been like, Jordan was the guy who, Republicans buy sneakers too. I'm going to keep my mouth shut, right? But LeBron was always the one who would talk on Black Lives Matter, and they were going to do the protest when those dudes got killed by police violence. But I will say he did redeem himself slightly. I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks later when the whole Jerry Jones thing at the races, the picture of him at the races rally came out. And he sat there and he goes, I can't believe none of you guys asked me about Jerry Jones. You guys been all over me about Kyrie Irving. Now, one of you guys asked me about Kyrie Irving. I'm disappointed. Then he tried to be like, Ron, he's like, no, this ain't no Q&A. I'm going to say what I have to say. He dropped the mic and slid off. So I'll give him a little, he redeemed himself slightly. You know what I mean?
He got some cool points for that. He
got his shit back. Because I when he did that, I know they were probably like, this is out of your character, right? The difference between you and the GOAT is you always spoke out on social injustices, right? Now this doesn't, I know his PR people was like, yo, you're taking a hit out here. So he had to find, and he's very savvy, LeBron. He's very calculated. So he found something, he found a lane to kind of redeem himself. So shout out to Kyrie, shout out to LeBron too, man. But they, big money, like you said, money's, that big money make you do, strange things.
Yeah.
Like Mike Epps say, doing something strange for a piece of change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.